Caterpillar D337F is a legend in the world of heavy iron. This 13.1-liter inline-six is a turbocharged iron giant. Producing 310 horsepower, it was designed for unrelenting torque rather than speed. Weighing over 2 tons, its massive 5.125-inch bore and rugged fuel system made it an industrial legend that prioritized mechanical longevity over any semblance of modern fuel economy. Unlike modern engines that rely on complex electronics, the D337F often used a small pony engine just to crank the big diesel to life. It was a machine that required a literal second engine just to wake up. The M14P is a masterpiece of Soviet engineering that refuses to retire. Beyond its clockwise rotation, the opposite of most American engines, it uses a set of adjustable shutters on the front to manage engine temperature manually. It remains the gold standard for pilots who want a rugged, smoky, and incredibly reliable powerhouse that can handle the punishing stresses of unlimited class aerobatics. In the early 1900s, BEIJERS engines were the rugged heroes of Scandinavia. Starting them required a blowtorch. You had to heat the hot bulb cylinder head until it glowed cherry red before hand cranking the massive flywheel. These 120 horsepower beasts were the muscle behind Swedish fishing cutters and coastal tugboats. They were specifically designed to haul heavy nets through icy North Sea storms. Because they could run on almost any low-grade oil, they became the reliable backbone of Baltic maritime trade, powering the vessels that kept coastal villages fed and fueled. The KTA-50 is a V16 masterpiece. Beyond the 2220 horsepower, its 50.3-liter displacement allows it to breathe through twin turbochargers, providing incredible thermal efficiency. It is engineered for continuous duty, meaning it can run at full throttle for days without breaking a sweat. It's the literal definition of industrial strength reliability. It's unique because it uses a low-complexity mechanical injection system that's incredibly easy to maintain in the field. This massive V16 is effectively two V8 engines fused into one powerhouse. In the mid-20th century, the 16-volt to 71 became the backbone of American infrastructure. It wasn't just an engine, it was a symbol of post-war muscle. What sets it apart is the unmistakable sound and its run-forever reliability. Because it's a two-stroke, it offers an incredible power-to-weight ratio for its era. You'd find these monsters screaming inside massive earth movers, powering luxury yachts, providing backup power for hospitals, and even driving military landing craft. The McDonald Super Diesel is essentially a massive iron heart that beats at a slow, rhythmic thud. It's not about speed, it's about unstoppable momentum. It's loud, it's heavy, and it smells like history. Its uniqueness lies in its simplicity. By eliminating complex valve trains, McDonald created an engine that a farmer could maintain with a basic wrench and a bit of common sense. They were the backbone of Australian infrastructure, providing stationary power for irrigation and mines where reliability was a matter of life or death. Providing stationary power for irrigation and mines where reliability was a matter of life or death. The 1917 HOLT 120 horsepower was the heavy lifter of its era, a massive piece of American engineering that helped transition the world from horse-drawn power to the age of the machine. This engine was a masterpiece of slow and steady. It lacked a radiator fan, relying on a massive open cooling system. Its sheer displacement is staggering. At nearly 35 liters, a single cylinder had more volume than 3 modern sedan engines combined. It was built to run on distillate, a low-grade fuel that would choke a modern car. In the early 20th century, Thomassen became the heartbeat of the Dutch oil and gas industry. A pivotal moment occurred in the 1940s and 50s when these engines were deployed to power the massive pumps and compressors needed for the Slochteren gas field, one of the largest natural gas finds in the world. The S3 is unique because of its slow speed philosophy. While your car engine screams at 3,000 RPM, the S3 thumped along at a leisurely 300 to 450 RPM. This low speed meant parts hardly wore out. These engines were built to run for decades without stopping. era of primitive machinery, this engine featured sophisticated overhead valves and a sophisticated cooling system to prevent meltdowns during 24-hour hauls. These tractors were the workhorses of the Western Front during World War I. Primarily utilized by US and British forces, they hauled M1918 howitzers through the lunar landscapes of France and Belgium. Post-war, they transitioned from swords to plowshares, clearing forests and building the very roads that would eventually make the artillery tractor's job obsolete. The 1909 Blackstone is a classic heavy oil stationary engine. These weren't built for speed, they were built to outlast their owners. In 1909, the Blackstone was the beating heart of the British Empire's industry. While modern engines rely on high-tech sensors, this beast relied on massive flywheels and sheer cast iron momentum. It's unique because of its dual fuel ability to run on cheap, heavy oils once the hot bulb was sufficiently heated by a manual blow lamp. Under the hood of this iron giant sits the legendary YAM 238 V8, a power plant known more for its never-say-die attitude than its refinement. It's a transformer. Unlike a standard engine that just pulls, the UPS 146 features modular wings and blades that can extend several meters outward. It doesn't just move through the environment, it reshapes it. It can profile a ballast bed to surgical precision while moving at a steady crawl, something a standard locomotive would struggle to do without burning out its transmission.